Good morning, class. I am Dr. Poonam Rani, and today we will be discussing about reticular activating system. Reticular activating system or reticular formation. Reticular formation is a diffuse, ill-defined mass of nerve cells and fibers forming an ill-defined meshwork of reticulum in the central portion of the brainstem. What is a brainstem? Brainstem is constituted by the medulla, the pons, and the midbrain. The reticular formation are characterized by an interlacing network of fiber bundles. There are more than 50 nuclear masses which together constitute the reticular nucleus and is scattered throughout the central part of the brainstem. It is also known as extrathalamic control modulatory system. The reticular activating system has projections to various parts of the brain and it receives impulses from the various parts. The reticular activating system is a part of the mammalian brain located in the brainstem. It is one part of the brain which is absolutely essential for life. This is a complex aggregate of neurons with its cell bodies which form clusters in the tegmentum of the brainstem, the basal forebrain and the thalamus. It is known as reticular because of its diffuse multipolar synapses and interconnections. Some reticular formation neurons are clustered together, forming centers of the brainstem nuclei and integrating centers. These include cardiovascular, respiratory, sneezing, coughing, hiccuping, and swallowing and vomiting centers. There are also centers for control of equilibrium and balance. It receives and integrates information from all regions in the CNS. Its neurons send axons to most regions of the brain and spinal cord, which indicate the very large influence the reticular formation has over different parts of the CNS. The pathways that convey information from the reticular formation are divided into two systems, ascending and descending reticular system. Moreover, the reticular formation can be further subdivided functionally into three columns: the raphe or the midline, the medial and the lateral region. The median column, which is present in the midbrain and upper pons. It has ascending projections toward the cortex and is useful in arousal and attention, while the medial column, which is present in the lower pons and medulla, have intrinsic connections for control of eye movements, swallowing and brainstem reflexes. Lateral columns present in the lower pons and medulla have descending projections toward the spinal cord for control of muscle tone, respiration and arterial pressure. Pathways for the reticular formation can be described into two parts, the rostral part and the caudal part. ARAS or activating reticular ascending pathway. It is the rostral part. The rostral part vaguely begins at the level of the upper pons and midbrain. Contains neurochemically classified groups of neurons that project to the cerebral cortex either directly or by relay in the thalamus. And it is important in alertness, wakefulness, maintenance of attention and emotional reaction and learning process. It has complex polysynaptic pathways and the fibers are mainly cholinergic in nature. RS throughout its course receives afferent collaterals from the long somatic sensory pathways, the trigeminal, olfactory, auditory and visual pathways, and the third, the visceral pathway. The degree of convergence in it abolishes the sensory modality specificity. This shows that the specific sensory pathways serve discriminative sensory perception. It provides a pathway by which the intracortical events can initiate arousal. So it is responsible for the alerting response to emotions and related psychic phenomena that occur in the absence of any apparent external stimulus. Some of the thalamic connections of the RAS relay in the midline and the intralaminar nuclei of the thalamus before passing on to the thalamic reticular nucleus. The RAS, by increasing excitability of the cortical neurons, is thus intimately concerned with the electrical activity of the cortex, and which can be recorded by electroencephalogram. Activity in the RAS produces the conscious state and is responsible for maintaining a state of wakefulness or alertness. This makes perception possible. Next one is the descending pathway or the caudal part. The caudal part vaguely it starts from the lower pons and medulla and has projections to the spinal cord and is involved in the motor functions, respiration and regulation of blood pressure. The descending reticular system, it can be divided in two parts, the efferent and the afferent. This system comprises the descending inhibitory and facilitatory reticular projections. The descending inhibitory reticular projections are located in the bulbar inhibitory reticular region and it causes reduction of movement. It itself is under the influence of inhibitory areas of the cerebral cortex and the caudate nucleus of the basal ganglia. The neurons are noradrenergic type. The descending facilitatory reticular projections relays facilitatory extrapyramidal fibers to the spinal neurons. This causes facilitations of cortically or reflexly induced movement. The vestibular nuclei also produce facilitatory influence of the spinal motor neurons via vestibulospinal tract. See the excitatory area and the inhibitory area. Connection. It is believed to be the center of arousal and motivation in mammals. It can be divided in two parts, ascending reticular activation system and descending reticular activation system. These receives information from a special sensory input, general cranial or spinal nerve input. Cholinergic system. Cell bodies are found in the nucleus basalis of Maynard and pontomesencephalic tegmental neurons. Functions are arousal, selective attention, learning and memory, and neuronal degeneration. Neuronal degeneration of these neurotransmitter nucleus leads to Alzheimer's disease. Coming to the adrenergic system, the cell bodies are found in locus coeruleus in the midbrain. They are active during waking and slow wave sleep. NO can also act as a messenger in these systems. Serotonergic system, cell bodies are found in the caudal raphe nucleus and rostral raphe nucleus. Functions are arousal and selective attention, sleep, processing sensory information of pain, and regulation of muscle tone and segmental spinal reflexes. Histaminergic system, cell bodies are found in posterior lateral hypothalamus, tuberomammillary nucleus. Functions are to maintain arousal of the forebrain, which is important in sleep-wake cycle. Reticular formation is culminated finally in the thalamus. You can see the different connections of reticular formation, afferent connections and efferent connections. Afferent connections are from the cerebellum, cortex, corpus tritum, thalamus, spinal cord and sensory pathways. while efferent connections are to the cortex, cerebellum, thalamus, hypothalamus, red nucleus, substantia nigra, tectum, and spinal cord also. Reticular formation functions. What are the functions of reticular formation? These help in regulation of sleep. Thus, the maintenance of the sleeping cycle or circadian rhythm is maintained. Filtering of incoming stimuli to discriminate irrelevant background stimuli. It's crucial to maintain the state of consciousness related to the circadian rhythm. Melatonin has certain effects on RS. ANS control leads to respiratory rate, heart rate, and GIT activity control. These are also helpful in the regulation of BP. Yes. What happens? Pain. Pain has direct electrical stimulation of the reticular activating system, produces pain responses in cats and induces verbal reports of pain in humans. Additionally, ascending reticular activation in cat can produce mydriasis, which can result from prolonged pain. These results suggest some relationship between RAS circuits and physiological pain pathways. Another clinical significance is that of wakefulness. If the RAS is activating, you are awake. Now coming to some of the diseases which are because of the disruption of RAS. Specifically, disruption of RAS has been implicated in the following disorder, such as schizophrenia, post-traumatic stress disorder, Parkinson's disease, REM behavior disorder, narcolepsy, progressive supranuclear palsy, depression, autism, Alzheimer's disease, attention deficit disorder, and Parkinson's disease. What about consciousness? Consciousness is defined as the state of awareness of self and the environment. The consciousness system has two principal functions. One is the maintenance of the waking state, arousal or level of consciousness, and the second is the content of experience, awareness or content of consciousness. Consciousness tells us about a patient's alertness, awareness, and attention. We measure consciousness. We measure consciousness by Glasgow Coma Scale. Glasgow Coma Scale defines consciousness in various stages as conscious, that is normal state, where the patient is attentive, oriented to self, place, and mind. Next stage is the confused state, where the patient is impaired or has slow thinking, disoriented to time, place, and person. Delirious, disoriented, restless, clear deficit in attention, possible incidence of hallucinations and delusion. Then comes the somnolent state, then the obtunded, then stuporous, and the last stage is comatose stage, where there is no response to stimuli, patient cannot be aroused, or it doesn't have gag reflex or pupil response to light. Now, one important thing, your reticular activating system might be holding you back from the real result. Means you can improve your efficiency by activating your reticular activating system. And how you will improve your reticular activating system? By increasing your alertness. Thank you.